Hello and welcome to another video. As always, I hope you're doing great. Now, one more holiday dish that I covered last year was glögg, which is a sort of mulled wine from Sweden. But it's not really quite a mulled wine. You can go see my other video on that as far as the classic glögg. Now, this is also just over my 100th video. So I'm going to start going back and covering other dishes I've done, but from a different angle. So today we're going to do glögg again, but we're going to do a Vit Glo, and we're going to play around with the ingredients a bit. So before you start, you may want to go and look at my previous glögg video. I'll put a link in the description. But today we're going to go and make a different kind of glögg. Looking at the two of them together, you can see how this sort of genre of mulled wines, again, not quite mulled wines, can actually be experimented with widely. So if you go around in Sweden, you can find glögg that is, say, port and fig flavored, or Vit Glo like we'll make today, that might have other fruits and spices in it and things like that. So hope that you enjoy this as much as I do. This is going to be great. So now let's cover the ingredients. Now, one thing we do here is the fruit, and again, I have a scant cup, about 200 milliliters, of a mixture of dried apricots and golden raisins in approximately equal proportion. And you could use other fruit. I strongly thought about putting dried apples in this time, but I decided just to go with the apricots. For the spices, I've chosen 6 cloves, about 6 pieces of bitter orange peel, a nice teaspoon of cardamom seeds. I've removed them from the pods, about half a teaspoon of nutmeg, about a teaspoon of ground ginger, and 1 piece of star anise. These will all go in. Again, we will have sugar that we will add, probably a little less than last time. The wine I've selected is this late harvest Gewürztraminer. Because it's a late harvest, it has a lower alcohol content, so we'll add a little more vodka, but it's also much sweeter, so we'll add a lot less sugar. And then of course we have vodka. Now the reason I keep saying that this is not quite a mulled wine is that normally when you mull a liquid, you heat it up and soak spices in it while it's hot. And glögg is not made this way. Glögg is made using alcohol as a solvent for the spice flavors, and then transferring them with a carrier into the wine. And so typically and traditionally you take vodka, you make a spiced vodka, and then you add that to the wine with the sugar. So that's the part we're going to do today. I'm going to take about 300 ml, so about half of this vodka bottle, and we'll go ahead and use that. So I have here a bottle that has a capacity of about half a liter, about a pint, and that'll do. So I'm going to start by adding all of the fruit to this bottle. Then I'm going to add all of the spices. And as I covered last time, typically you want to avoid using ground spices because you don't want these particulates in the finished product if you're going to keep it around for a long time. But if we're going to drink it within the holiday season, it doesn't matter. So there's that. Next, I measure vodka and I will pour it in. So we're going to turn this around so I can see metrics. As I say, 300 mils. That's a little more than a cup. And we're just going to pour this on top. Now we'll go ahead and cover this up. We'll set this, I'll shake this once a day. Set this aside. And in about 3 days we'll be back to actually make the glögg. Hello and welcome back. It's been 3 days. We've gone ahead and made our Yule schnapps, and now we're going to make our glögg out of it. This is why glögg is not mulled wine. Mulled wine is wine that's been warmed up and heated with seasonings and spices. Glögg uses vodka as a solvent to effectively moderate the flavors of those spices and fruits and other things into the alcoholic beverage. So it's a very different process, but it's very good. Anyway, the wine that I selected here is this late harvest Gewürztraminer from Anselmann. It's only 9.5% alcohol. A lot of your sweeter wines have lower alcohol because they stopped the fermentation earlier. But this has a really lively, delicious flavor, and I thought it would go really well with the spices and apricots and stuff that we're working with today. The other thing here is I've chopped up a couple of apricots and into pieces about the size of raisins, and I'm using yellow raisins, not the dark raisins today, because it's a Vit Glo. And then of course I have the standard blanched almonds. So with this in mind, we'll go ahead and start the actual heating process, and we'll go from there. So first, I'm going to pour in the wine here. And the spices are going to dull the flavor of the wine a little bit, so like if you bruise it, if you pour it out vigorously or not, it doesn't make a big difference. And we are going to add the Yule schnapps. We will do this through a fine mesh strainer. So now we're going to heat this on around a medium heat until it's warm. So I've turned it on to medium. I'll be back in maybe 10-15 minutes once this is hot. So now you can see that this is steaming. It's quite warm, but we definitely don't want it to boil. So I'm going to take it off the heat now. And from here we're going to present and get ready for the, for the taste test. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spoon some dried fruit and nuts into a bowl. And I want approximately equal amounts, or not into a bowl, into a cup. And I want I want some of everything, but I want approximately equal amounts of nuts and fruits. So that should be good. And then I'm just going to ladle some of this nice hot Vit Glo into the glass. And there we have it. And now for the taste test. Smells delicious. This is quite something. I can taste elements of the fruit, the apricots, the spices add this wonderful dimension. Warm like this, it's a very warming beverage. This is quite delicious. Definitely something I'm going to make again. If you like this content and find it useful, I would please suggest commenting, liking, sharing, and subscribing. That helps YouTube know that you like this video and will help show you and others not only more content like this, but also possibly more content from creators similar to me. So it's not only a way to help me out, it's a way to help you get the kinds of content you like, as well as, of course, to help other people doing similar things. So if you like this kind of content, please do yourself a favor and comment, like, and subscribe, as well as share it with your friends and encourage them to do the same. Any rate, tack så mycket. Thank you very much. Bon appetit, and see you next week.